What is up, guys? Media Master Menard here today, back at you with another video. And as you can see, we're reviewing the Aladdin live action movie that Disney just released. And I went and saw this movie with a couple of buddies, and I have to admit I went in with very meh expectations, and I thought Will Smith looked really corny in the trailer, so I did not have a positive frame of mind going into this movie. And let's get into what I think about this movie. And usually I give some type of synopsis about the plot of this movie, but since it's such a classic, a movie that pretty much everybody has seen, Aladdin, they all know the story, I'm not really going to go into a ton of detail with the story at all in this review. That being said, however, there actually was a few discrepancies in the plot from the original Aladdin, which I thought was actually pretty interesting. It caught me off guard a little bit. I don't think this live action remake was as faithful to the original as, let's say, Beauty and the Beast was, but I think that's actually a positive thing in this instance, because I think the story that is really holds up well, but I think they do a good job injecting maybe a little more realism, which they're definitely going for obviously with this live action remake, and I think it keeps the story grounded. A lot of the little changes they make here and there, nothing's groundbreaking or too crazy, but I think it spices it up just enough. I think it also works in the favor of this movie a lot, because maybe I'm just an adult now, but a lot of these more fairy tale-esque movies become more unbelievable the older you get, because you just kind of see stuff and the way characters react aren't really how real humans would react, and I think a lot of these changes kind of help out that aspect of the film. And so I do think it's really good for older audiences that they're trying to keep it more up to date, and they know a lot of people grew up loving Disney are going to go see this movie, and so they've grown older, and so Disney is trying to grow up with their audience, and I really appreciated that. So, I mean, the plot is what you expect it to be. It's pretty much a classic from 20 years ago that's held up to this day. You're not going to get anything too crazy or out of this world that you weren't expecting, but there is good updates here and there. Now let's talk about the acting, because this is an important part of the movie, especially when you're jumping from an animated feature into a live action movie. And I thought Mena Massoud did a great job of playing Aladdin. I mean, he did such a good job of making sure that he got the kind of cocky attitude of Aladdin down, but at the same time he was really able to convey that Aladdin is a genuine person who can care about others. So I thought there was pretty good nuance actually to his role and the way he played it. I thought Naomi Scott did a good but not great job of playing Jasmine. I felt she was a little too generic at times and maybe could have put a little more personality into the character. But it is what it is, and I'm not sure if it was more so the writing or just the character of Jasmine in general that made it end up that way. Then we had Marwan Kenzari, who is excellent as Jafar. I mean, he was just really creepy and menacing throughout the whole movie, and I thought he did a great job of just being the bad guy, but also making Jafar a little more creepy, I guess, than he was in the original movies, and kind of a little more ambitious and kind of a warmonger. I like that aspect to the role, so I thought he did a fantastic job. And last, and certainly not least out of the main cast, we have Will Smith as Genie. And like I mentioned before, I really thought he was going to be kind of stick out like a sore thumb in this movie, and he was going to play himself as Will Smith does often, but he knocked it out of the park with Genie, guys. I mean, he doesn't carry the movie, but he really does help bump this movie up like a whole score out of 10. It is just incredible how good he does at this role, and he's just really fun the whole time, and he really gets into the character of Genie, and I like that a lot, and honestly, I think he alone makes this movie worth seeing. Overall, I just want to give props to Disney doing a great job casting for this movie. It felt very authentic, and that is to say, I mean, it felt like all the cast members and outfits that they used looked like they were from the area, like the Middle East part of the world that this movie is set in. So I think they did a great job. I mean, I've never been there, but it felt really authentic, and it didn't feel like it was whitewashed or anything like that. And I'm really excited to see what Disney can do in some other live action remakes, like maybe Pocahontas or Mulan. I think both of those would be really good options. We could see some really cool things, guys. I mean, what they can do with these live action remakes are really exciting. The CGI and special effects in this movie were really good, and to be honest, I think they did a great job of masking a lot of the CGI they would have had to do on Genie by making him appear in human form a lot more, which I thought was a very smart move to save them money and save them the hassle of having to make the CGI really good. The only one that kind of creeped me out was Iago. I thought it was really weird because he looked like a real parrot, but at the same time he didn't. It was kind of like an uncanny valley situation, but he was a parrot, so it was kind of just weird to me. I didn't really feel what they did with his character, and it kind of took a lot of the personality out of him. But I understand because he's a parrot and he's not a human, so that makes a lot of sense. And I think the music in this movie was fantastic as it was in the original film, but I do have to say I like the original a little more than I do the remake, and that's honestly because the original was just so good. I mean, they had like 2 songs hit like the top of the music charts in here in America. I mean, that's really impressive for a movie to do that. And I'm not 100% positive, but I do think they added a couple of new songs or singing parts in this movie that honestly I don't think were there in the original, but I thought they were good, and they all sounded really pleasing to the ear, especially Jasmine's voice. I don't know what it was, but she was a really good singer in this film. I'm not sure if it was actually Naomi Scott singing, but it was good stuff, guys. I have to say though, at the beginning of the movie, The Arabian Nights by Will Smith, I mean, I always dug that song as a kid, but this one got the chills going in me. I really thought it was a good rendition of the song. Obviously, songs like Friend Like Me or A Whole New World are just fantastic as always, and it seems like everyone in the theater wanted to sing along because everyone knows these songs by heart. Another song that I really liked was Prince Ali because, I mean, they just had such cool choreography and dancing going on with it throughout the movie, throughout the song. And I thought the movie in general just had a lot of good choreography and dancing parts that kept it interesting to watch while the singing was going on, and I think they did a really good job of conveying the atmosphere of the original film with real people, which is hard to do because they have to coordinate all these people and all these festivities. So I thought they did an absolutely fantastic job music-wise. So that's my recommendation, guys. I definitely think you guys should go out and watch it if you liked the movie originally, or if you liked any type of Disney movie originally. If you grew up on these films, you're gonna love it. A good story, music, dancing, choreography, acting. I mean, everything is pretty solid about this movie. But I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Did you like the movie? Did you like it as much as the original? And what other movies from Disney would you like to see them remake in live action form? If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We'll be bringing you guys more movies, TV, video game, and anime content. I'm going to leave a link to my Twitch and my Twitter down in the description below so you can find out when I post a new video. And until then, this is Master Menard, signing off.
Now look at the top, I'm going crazy, who wearing the crown? Schooly bop, doodly bolly, doodly down.